MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Friday Night Chit Show. Welcome for hanging out with us tonight. And I want to say thank you to Orange Hat and Ruben for joining me. How are you guys tonight?
Crap.
You're back? Yeah, you weren't here last week. How are you, Ruben? How are you doing?
I'm okay. I was on a frame. So if I go here, it shuts my. I have to move over a little bit. There, right there. Hello.
You just had a Biden moment. What the hell did you just say?
I don't even
literally did that in an interview. In that interview with what's his name from CNN. He's like,
yeah.
Well, I have been running analysis on what Biden's actually saying, and I have no idea.
Yeah,
AI doesn't even know what he says.
How do you miss that? What?
Well, I just want to say hi to everybody, and well, we've had a really eventful since last Saturday. We have been.
It's really
so
been
much
pretty boring.
crap has been going on. You know, it's been like we're in history right now. We've made history, our country.
History is now upon us.
And most people that are alive in the United States, I'd say, have never had this type of thing going on in their life. Because I think most of us don't even, we were young when I think it was, what was it? Wasn't it Ronald Reagan was the last person that was shot at, president-wise?
Yes.
Well, hit. The last person that was hit. Last person that was hit. Yes.
And I think the one I remember was the one that shot the Beatle. I remember everybody talking about that one. Yeah, John Lennon, when John Lennon was shot. I remember that more than anything else until this one, you know, for an iconic person to be shot. Mm-hmm. So, and then 9/11, of course, you know, that was the biggest thing that's ever happened in my lifetime since before this. But I was alive doing a live stream when it happened, and I got a phone call, and they said that Trump has been shot in the ear, and I just went, "What?" I just freaked out, you know, because that's what I heard. And then people in the chat were saying, "No, he just got his ear got grazed, but yeah, he did get shot." And I didn't know anything about the other people. But when I saw the videos and stuff, I was like, I just couldn't believe it. It was just shocking to me that anyone would get that close. Anyone would be able to get that close. But then I started thinking about what happened in Las Vegas and how far that guy was shooting at, even at night, and he was shooting people. So, and he was supposedly by himself doing it.
There's a difference between a very skilled shooter and a very non-skilled shooter.
Mm-hmm. Well, the guy that I told you about that did the interview with Waters, right?
Yeah.
He told everybody that a young recruit has to be able to shoot farther than what that kid did to be able to graduate from boot camp. So he said he could train you in, 3 or 4 times and you would be able to do that. So basically, even if he was a dweeb or whatever, he got enough training to be able to shoot. And when you saw that one video that I posted, if Trump hadn't turned his head, he wouldn't be here, period. That's a fact.
No, he
so whether anyone wants to believe he was a dumb dweeb and he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, well, they can say that, but apparently he knew what he was doing. And even that guy said that somebody could shoot with just a regular rifle, would have been able to do that from the distance that he shot it from. So, a lot of stuff's coming out little at a time. And they're supposed to have like meetings on Monday, right? Where they're going to interview some of these people, the Secret Service.
They're going to be hauling that Cheadle bitch into the Senate hearing or into a Senate hearing on Monday. And they're going to be chewing her ass out. They said, we're pulling you in on Monday. You're going to answer the subpoena or we're going to have you arrested.
And they'll be interviewing everyone that was involved, right? Pretty much.
Pretty much. All the Secret Service agents, including the DHS agents that were there who weren't Secret Service. Apparently that's also come out, folks. So,
yeah, they were like contractors.
Senator Hawley, thank you to the person who sent that.
Yeah, I was told that they were Homeland Security people. So they're not specifically trained to protect someone like the president of the United States type of thing. Nope. So, man, they made a bunch of mistakes. And I knew that we were screwed, or they were screwed, basically, when I heard the police officers call, or someone that was in the police officer's department that called in and said, hey, we were only hired to, for parking and traffic. We're not people that have snipers and all that shit. And
the government fucking tried putting that on the police.
On someone else. So
the government tried putting that on the police. And the fucking police came out and they're like, the fuck you are blaming this shit on us. You ain't blaming this shit on us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
we weren't told any of that shit that you just said.
But everybody has to remember one thing that's not being spoken about.
Mm-hmm.
This is not, Trump, what do you want to do? Oh, Saturday I'm going to have a rally in Butler. Let's get that done. Okay, great. Mm-hmm. And it happens. No, this was over a month in planning, and over a month ago, the Secret Service went there and already posted out and did stuff. They had it already planned out.
Mm-hmm.
So this whole no, you were supposed to do it. You're supposed to do it. It's all bullshit. It's all lies. They're just basically they don't want to take responsibility. So it's bigger than you think.
Yeah. Well, it's unfolding, and I'm thankful because it almost seems like this whole event has caused real journalists to come out of the woodworks, because we've had nothing but, the people that sit around the coffee table and drink coffee and talk about comments, on the news and shit like that. Not real news,
but
like
you have with Laura Logan. It's so disingenuous. It is.
I know. That's what I mean.
Yeah. These assholes are now suddenly objective.
The one video. No, the one video. Because again, I said it. Did I mention? I thought I mentioned it before, where they actually show Biden going up the stairs, which they never show. They stopped showing it because of what happened.
Yeah.
And they specifically showed it. You have Jake Tapper giving the golf style reply. He's walking up slowly. You see, he's unsteady.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do? He's commenting on it, and it's like, because again, they are that stupid. There's this video it's an old FedEx commercial where the guy says, "Any ideas? What do you want to do?" Well, we should use FedEx, sir. Anybody agree with that? No. And then when no one said anything, and then the guy said, "You know what? I have an idea." Yes, sir. What do you think? Let's use FedEx. Let's do it. And then the guy goes, it was my idea. Yeah, but again, it's like we've been saying this for all this time.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I was saying it before he even ran. That I can't even believe he's up on the stage with all the other with Camilla and the rest of them, because he's been turned down so many times because of all the lies and the plagiarism, and he shuffles. He reminds me of when he puts his hands like this and he shuffles along. He looks like that one guy from The Simpsons, that runs the nuclear plant or whatever.
Fucking Burns.
Yeah, Burns. That's who it reminds me of. It's like, or Frankenstein or something. But to start off tonight, I wanted to do something funny, and because everything's so gloomy. But I saw this, and it came from the
Trump is I have to say one thing before you show this. This is mean. This was pure. Life imitates art. Trump is a Chad, based upon the following what you're going to show here.
This was so funny, and I don't know if everybody saw this, but if you want, I will share it in the chat so you guys can see it. But if you have X, when I saw this, I was like, holy shit! I was sharing it with everybody because I thought it was so funny, and it was like, yeah, that's our Trump. He's a man eater, or a lady eater, or whatever you want to call him. But he is a stud muffin. So I want to share this with everybody.
A kitty eater.
Yeah, a kitty eater. That's right. But see this picture? It's a close up of Trump, and there's a woman standing behind him, and we were wondering, what is she doing with her hand? So I'm gonna make sure it's turned up, and I'm gonna start it. Here we go.
This is her ode to Michael Jackson.
But what was funny is I'm going to read you this, what it said on the actual tweet. It said, oh, darn, I got to make it smaller real quick. Here you go. It says, post-assassination Trump is such a stud that the pussies are grabbing themselves. So I just thought that was wonderful, and it made me laugh because I don't know what she was doing, but all I could think of as a woman myself is the fact that when you wear a certain type of skirt, okay, it's really tight over your hips and your legs to show your curvage, right? So when you go to sit down, you have to pull your skirt up just a little bit to give you enough room so when you sit down, that it doesn't ride up really fast over to your waist, and your panties and everything show. So you have to pull it up just a little, just enough to give your legs a little spread. So when you sit down, it holds your skirt down. So I don't know if any guys know what I'm talking about, but as a woman,
I don't cross dress, so no.
I wouldn't grab my crotch though. See, I would have grabbed both sides of my skirt and pulled it up just a little bit as I sat down. But that's the only thing I could think of, is that she was getting ready to sit down when she was talking to someone, because the way her other hand was moving, that's what I was thinking. But I thought it was this hilarious thing. So I'm going to share that link right there right now real quick in the chat, because I just thought it was so funny. It give you guys a smile, and post it on your timeline and make that lady famous, because whoever's going to go find that and zoom out and be able to know who it is.
Okay. They say they know who it is.
Oh, who is it?
They think it was Kimberly Guilfoyle.
It might have been. I don't know, but she had red on, and her nails were gorgeous. So whoever she was. So I just thought it was great. I just thought it was really funny, and I wanted everybody to see it. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to bring up was that, to me, it's shocking. It seems to me that they're eating their own when it comes to the Democrats. So they're slowly like chucking each other under the bus. At least that's what it seems like to me. So I got a couple little things. It's mostly about, lying Biden, and, how Biden this and Biden that, and just how crappy he really is and how everybody wants him to leave. So first I want to play this one. I don't know if you guys saw this whole thing, this interview with our Speaker of the House. Let me make sure it's turned up, but here we go.
For 3.5 years have been covering up this glaring problem. The staff in the White House have been covering it up, and so have the Democrats in Congress. Just last month, I brought a couple of examples. Representative Dan Goldman said Biden was sharper than anyone he'd spoken to.
President Biden was nice enough to call me, and I can tell you, this was the day before that interview, I can tell you he was sharper than anyone I've spoken to.
Representative Eric Swalwell said that Biden put many of us to shame with his energy.
As he says every day, watch me, and he puts many of us to shame with his energy.
I mean, there are example after example after example, leading Democrats and noteworthy Democrats on the Hill who have not been in the dark about this. They've been saying things I think most of them understand is simply not true, and they've misled the American people.
Okay, so this guy, though, did you see the expressions on his face? Like they're trying not to die laughing, because it's ridiculous that we have so many people in office and on the news covering for Biden this whole time. And we knew it, normal people that saw him and paid attention and stuff before he even became president. We were like, I can't believe that this guy got 81 million votes. I mean, why would anyone in the right mind want to vote for someone who can't even walk up a flight of stairs? I mean, how is he representing us around the world?
Zombies and dead people aren't in their right minds. So,
speaking of that, what do you think his vote count will be at the end of the day?
You mean
how bad will the Biden presidency fall? 81 million votes to fall to how many million votes?
What I feel right now, after this whole thing that happened this weekend, and listening to people and seeing how many people are rallying around for Trump, because they think this is a farce, basically. I honestly, I think we might even have 48 states that are red. for Trump. That's what I think.
So you think what are the two states? You think that won't?
I think Hawaii will be one of the states that says no, and it's either
even after Maui. Even after Maui.
Mm-hmm. I really do. I hate to say that. It's either going to be now. These are the three. I think 3 states. I'm more than likely it's going to be California, New York, and Hawaii. That's not going to vote for Trump.
Orange Hat thinks New York's going to turn.
New York. I have often said this, folks, and yes, New York has turned into a battleground state, as John M says in your channel.
Yeah, I think it's going to be close.
I have often said over the years, and I have remained consistent on this, that when I hear dumbasses like Ben Shapiro and fucking Liberal Hive Mind, as much as I like Liberal Hive Mind, he's late on the news all the time. He's like a day late and $1 short. But a lot of these people often, and even the guy that I really like, Black Conservative Perspective, they all love to trash New York. They all love to shit on New York. And it's like, man, if you guys are going to fucking shit on New York, shit on New York City, because that's where all the fucking libtards are. The thing is, New York is more red than they all give people credit, or than they give it credit for. When Molinaro was going up against not Hochul, but the dumbass that was grabbing women and shit. What was his damn name? Forget him. He's a fucking Italian. I'm not going to say the word that I wanted to. But anyway, the thing is, he was Cuomo. That was his name. Thank you. Molinaro had 95% of the state district or of the state's districts. All voted red. New York, Rochester, Buffalo, and Albany voted blue. That was it. And it's like, go fuck yourself. The fact that I have often advocated for an electoral college on the state gubernatorial level for when it comes to deciding who the governor is, because it shouldn't be up to the cities and the major population centers to decide who governs an entire state. Because even when it came down to Hochul versus Zeldin was like 10,000 votes shy. That's a lot, or that's not a lot of votes, folks. That's a close call.
Yeah, that's really close.
That's almost within margin of error. So, I do believe that AOC is actually getting contested in her next one. She won her primary, but she's actually getting contested in her district. And people are actually saying, screw this bitch.
Tina Laporte or something.
When it comes to New York, if you go to places like where I live, you are going to see way more conservatives than liberals. You will see some liberals around here. I'm not saying that there aren't. I'm actually friends with some of them because, well, they're not sane liberals. Some of them are, but not all of them. But you also have but if you go up into the northern Adirondacks, northern New York folks, and the upper part of New York, that is pretty much scarlet red. And they are not ever going to vote Democrat. Well,
see, that's the fact, though, is I got in an argument with someone. This was only like, I guess, 7 or 8 years ago. An adult, a grown-up, over 40. Okay, I got in an argument with this person, a woman, and because she didn't understand when I was trying to explain to her, because she was saying that we should go to popular vote. And I was like, no, we can't do that. That's ridiculous. And she's like, why not? It should be the people. It shouldn't be the states or whatever. And I said, okay, let me put this into perspective for you. I said, did you know that the city of New York, just the city, will outvote Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri? And I go, add a few other little states in there. And that's just one city outvotes 3 states, 4 states. So how can you say that the people in a state don't have the right to have a say because there's not enough people there, because it's rural, because it's mostly farmers and, people like that. And in the city, they're packed on top of each other like sardines in huge buildings. That's why they have so many people there.
And why you have that? Why you don't want to have an actual popular vote, regardless? It's basically a popularity contest based upon the most votes. So if you basically if you say just using your own analogy too, you basically say that that you can't have chickens and eggs. So you can't have chickens, bees, or goats on your property. The majority of people that don't live on a farm don't want them, so they say, okay, great, it's not a problem. I don't need that in my life. They just say no. Dude, that's again. But then someone that lives out in the country, then they say, hey, well, why? But you don't need that. Why do you need cows and all that stuff? Just go down to the grocery store. Get your food there, go get some Starbucks for coffee. What are you doing? You don't need a tractor. Just try your lift, they don't understand. So that's the same mentality.
That's why I remember when I was a kid and we lived in, I remember I was living in Spokane, Washington, or just outside of Spokane. I think it was Fairchild Air Force Base. I'm trying to remember the name of the Air Force Base up there. And I remember my very first outing, I think I was in kindergarten or whatever, and we went to a dairy. We got to go to a dairy. We got to see how cows were milked and how the milk was processed. So at the end, we all got a little thing of milk to drink, and we got to pet the cows and all that stuff. And I thought it was so cool because I got to find out where milk came from, that it really came from cows. So I think it's sad because I just don't think enough kids know where food comes from. Who was it? It was some country western singer that said, take a kid to a farm. I was lucky because after we were older, my mom used to travel with us when my dad would be out on, TDY or whatever. And she'd take us to Oklahoma or Texas or Arkansas, depending on where my grandfather lived at the time, her dad and mom. And we would get to, ride horses. He would plant peas and cotton and other things in the garden. And he had a team of horses that would plow and everything. And we had to, pick cotton and snap peas and do all that because my grandfather thought it was important that we understood where our food came from. But he also built us this little cute little thing to set on the side of the road where we could sell our stuff that we picked and grew. So some of us girls would pick our stuff and go out and try to sell it. We had crab apples. We had all this different stuff. And it was great because we'd have money, our own money that we earned. And it was a lot of work. I mean, we couldn't believe it when we were told that people were forced to do this, as slaves, to pick fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, and had to grow it and everything. And they wouldn't even get to keep the money. The money went to the farmer, the guy that owned the plantation or whatever. So my grandpa tried to teach us a lot of things when we were young, but by hands-on, not just by telling us or showing us some stuff in a book. He made us do it. He wanted us to see what it was like, how it hurt your back. And that was just to pick 20 rows of cotton. We were kids and we had the little bag and we're trying to do it. It was hard. It was a hard job and our hands were hurting because it cut you up, the little husks on the cotton. A lot of people don't know anything about it or understand any of that. And I wish we could get back to that. I wish we could get back to where kids would took, field trips and learn where your food comes from. How does it get to the grocery store? Things like that. I think it would be really good, a lesson for children today. I mean, it's scary when you think about it, that people don't even understand the food process and how it works, and where certain products are made from cotton, and things like that. I don't know. It's just shocking to me. But I thought that was a really good point of view on how our government and our news that we're supposed to be hearing the truth from was covering for Biden all this time. So it was such a shock when they actually got to see him debate and do so shitty because, they don't watch it. They don't know how bad off he really was and how bad off he really is now. But here, I want to show this next one. Let me see. It's in, Let me see. I gotta find it because I don't know why I can't ever get these in order. It just drives me nuts. I think it's this one. No, it's this one. I think. Oh my God, I suck at this stuff. Okay, I think it's this one. Well, yeah, some girls will say that. This was supposed to be the speaker talking about Biden and the borders and stuff, but I just can't see it right now. I think this is it, but that's the ad. That's not it. Okay, I'm going to try this one. I think this is the right one. Darn it. I just suck at this so bad. All right. Is this the same one I just played?
Could be.
I don't know. I'm going to try it and see, but I don't think it is. But I think this is the new one. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I think it's turned up. Yeah.
Now, the SAVE Act. Illegal immigrants pouring into the country. Like, we've lost that story in the last couple of weeks, but millions have come in. And let's say even a small percentage manages to vote because they think they can reasonably believe that they're allowed to.
Yeah.
What of this?
Well, it's a very serious problem. And the Democrats are trying to pretend as though it's not. We know that. We have millions. By our count, we believe maybe as many as 16 million illegals in the country since Joe Biden took the Oval Office. From day one, he started issuing executive orders, open the border wide. Here's the problem. In all the states right now, it's really easy to register to vote. And when the illegals go to the local welfare office or the local government office and they sign up for benefits, which most of them do, they give them the registration card. All you got to do is check a box. Are you a U.S. citizen? We know that many illegals have already done that. Some states have already done their own audits. They've shown you got thousands of people. That's enough right now to throw an election, to change the outcome of a congressional seat. The majorities in one of the chambers of the Congress.
So
or
the
maybe
legislation will say what?
So the SAVE Act was passed in the House a couple of hours ago. By the way, 198 Democrats voted against it. What does the bill do?
How many Democrats voted for requiring only illegal American citizens to vote?
Five of them, right? That's all the bill says. You have to be a U.S. citizen.
Oh, you smoked them out on that one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's devastating for them because there's no way to argue against the necessity of this bill. All it does is it requires the registrars of voters or in all these offices where they're doing this to require proof of citizenship. Currently under federal law, believe it or not, the way the courts have interpreted it, they can't ask for proof. So everybody can fill out this form fraudulently, and that's a serious problem.
All right.
Okay. So basically, that is one reason why they wanted the borders wide open, because they knew at the beginning that there's no way that Biden's going to be able to do 2 terms unless they cheat. And the only way to cheat the second time around, basically they couldn't do the exact same thing with ballots in the middle of the night, all this stuff without a COVID type something going on. So they had to have illegals that they're giving, flying all over the place, giving them hotels, giving them food, giving them clothes, giving them jobs or whatever to get the votes. And the fact that only 5 Democrats voted to make sure they have to be citizens of the United States to vote proves to me that they knew they couldn't win. They had to cheat. This is the only way. I mean, why are we going to work every day and paying taxes if us being a citizen doesn't mean anything? If we have no privileges higher than a criminal that can walk across the border, which is a criminal because they broke the law as soon as they walked over the border, okay? And then to see him sit there and say that made me a stomach turn, because basically the whole time Trump was in office, he was trying to build this wall, and they dragged their feet. They dragged their feet over Obamacare. They dragged their feet over getting the border wall built. The funding was always messed up. There was always a problem. Then the COVID, and it was like they didn't do shit to help Trump get anything finished. And he did as much as he could by himself. And now he's about to get it again. And they're all having to realize that we, you and me, the ones that are backing Trump, are saying F you to all of them. You get your asses in there or we're not going to vote for you. because we're voting for Trump, and we're going to vote for people who want Trump in office because he's already proven that he says what he does, what he says he's going to do. So basically, we're screwed again if we can't do something about stopping these illegals from being able to vote. And when you get in a car accident and you got all these illegals having truck accidents, killing people, other pedestrians, and they get out and they can't even speak English, how do they pass the test to get a driver's license if they can't even read the test? You see, it's ridiculous. The states that are giving these people driver's licenses and the ones that are just handing them voters registration, that's all illegal.
Yeah,
they know they're not a legal citizen.
Have you guys ever played Democrat Monopoly? You pass go, you collect $1,500, especially if you're illegal, or if you're illegal. If you're an American citizen, you pass go, you go to jail.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's disgusting because my parents, I've watched my parents, they worked my whole life. I don't remember them not having jobs, right? And when they would get hurt, all the shit they had to go through for workman's comp, just to get a few months of checks till they got well enough to where they could go back to work. And they had to fight for every penny. I mean, there was so much paperwork, and it was, all these doctor bills and all the shit just to prove that they actually got hurt. And then these people can walk over the border after all the people that lost their jobs in the military and at businesses because they wouldn't get jabbed up. I'm one of them. I said, no, I wouldn't get it. And guess what? I couldn't get any jobs on any movies or any sets or anything because I didn't have a card. So I had to take whatever independent stuff I could get, which meant you don't get your SAG card. You don't get anything because you treat it like dirt, basically, because I wouldn't get a jab. Okay. So the fact that they kicked military out and people lost their jobs because they wouldn't get the shot was wrong. And now they're letting all these people come over the border, never even had a shot since they were born, basically. That's okay now. You see, to me, it pisses me off that these people are being given money that other people have worked 30 years for. And they keep saying that the Republicans are the ones that aren't going to let them have their Social Security. Well, that's not true. The Republicans, well, I'll say conservatives, because most of them are rhinos and they don't give a shit either. It's a uniparty is what you should be calling it. The conservative people that believe that we should have smaller government and that you should keep more of your paycheck for yourself and your family, because people don't seem to realize that when you have people that have jobs and you're buying a car and you're buying groceries and you're paying your electric bill and you're buying food and you're paying your rent or your house payment, that's all helping the economy. Okay. Because when people are buying homes, more homes are built. See, when people need to buy that product, that means they have to make more of that product to replace the ones that are taken off the shelf. All this stuff. People buying cars, which means they make more cars to replace the cars that are sold. All that is common sense, that if you treat the people right and give them more money in their pocket that they earned, they're going to spend it. Okay. And they're going to spend it on things they want. But when you take the money from them and you take their jobs, not as much money is going back into the economy. And guess what? Businesses go under. Places close. Businesses shut down. They have to fire people because they can't afford to pay the employees anymore because they're not making as much money. I mean, I've seen all these businesses, but boy, the media aren't going to tell you, because it makes Biden look bad every time they have to announce this, that, and the other. It's business is closing down, or this is happening, or that's happening. It's bad. Okay, they're not going to tell you. It's like whispering in the background. No, we can't really say that. Can't say that. Can't say this. Can't do this, because it might make Biden look bad. It's bullshit. I want what I remember when I was a kid. I remember it seemed like there was news on 24/7. My parents were one of those people that sat and listened to the news all the time, but it was like real news. It was them reporting on this, that, and, different things going on around the world, or a car wreck, or storms and things like that. And now it's just like people sitting around drinking coffee, talking about their feelings and what they think about this, that, and the other, what's going on. It's just really hard to find any news on TV anymore. And you have to get your news from places like X or YouTube or Rumble. That's where I go now. I hardly ever watch television anymore because there's nothing on. It's all bullshit.
Yeah, but the thing is that you want to get news, don't you?
Yeah.
And
real news.
Yeah. And
I want to know what's happening.
And I would rather them burn down than them changing, because they're not going to change. They have to be washed out. I want to listen to Alex Jones, Drew Hernandez, Tucker Carlson, Betty Johnson, commenters that have, their own staff. Them quick, get the stuff done. Because again, and that's like I said, like we both said, we don't watch television anymore. We watch ourselves, we watch our friends, we the pulse of the world through X and other social media platforms, because that's where the truth lies. Because the lies have to be over now. What they've done to this world is despicable.
Yeah. So let me close that off. I'm gonna this next thing I want to share is I just thought it was interesting when I saw this ad, because it's like the Democrats are beginning to eat themselves. They're infighting constantly, and I'm seeing more and more and more of these different Democrats fighting each other over this, that, and the other, because they don't agree with what the other one wants to do, that type of stuff. So I just think it's pretty interesting. I hope this is the right one, but I don't know. Is this the same one I just did? No, this is a new ad that has been put out by the Democrats, and I wanted everybody to see this. I thought it was pretty interesting.
President Biden, you saved democracy in 2020.
Now you have a chance to do it again.
It's time to pass the torch and let us choose a new nominee.
One who can bring new energy, new hope, and make sure Donald Trump never gets near the White House again.
Our country's future is in your hands.
So please, you are. Pass the torch, Joe.
Pass the torch. Pass the torch.
Pass the torch.
Pass the Torch is responsible for the content of this advertising.
There you go. Did you guys see that yet?
Look at
no.
Okay, well I'm gonna copy this, and I want to put it in the chat for anybody who is interested in sharing this.
They are panicking. They are like they're done. They're done.
They realize they know it. They know that they have nobody. They have nobody.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
They're gonna try it again.
Of course they are.
They are again. They haven't given up. They are desperate now, my folks. Remember this.
Yeah, we know they're desperate because they try to get rid of Trump.
Remember, the shit show hasn't started yet. I think they won't stop until he's out. He's completely gone. So this is ridiculous. This is we're living in really weird times. Unless there is that 1 billionth of a percentage that there's a light that happened in some people's hearts that says, we almost did this, we have to repent, and then a change happens.
Yeah,
but we're not there yet.
What's really scary to me is that they always do what works. Okay, if it worked last time, they're going to try it again. They'll try it again. They'll just keep beating a dead horse as long as they can get anything out of it. Okay, and looking at Biden is is fact of that. Okay, they'll dragging them around. They'll put them on a dolly and tape them to it and just push them around from one event to another, because as long as the people are still showing up, they're going to keep doing it. I mean, look what they did last time when he ran. They'd have circles taped out on the ground, and they'd have people 20 feet apart, and they'd have 100 people at an event, and Trump had thousands and thousands of people at events, and half of them weren't even wearing masks. We did, most of us didn't care, but and then half the time they didn't even have him out. I mean, he was locked up. He never saw him and all this stuff, and they still won. Miraculously, they had so many votes. What really cracked me up was I've worked the polls in 2 different states, okay, in Louisiana and Arkansas. And when you have at the end of the night, if at the end of the night we had 1,000 more votes than we handed out, we wouldn't be leaving. We would be trying to find out where those extra 1,000 ballots came from. So when you had all these polling stations calling in saying they had 300,000 more ballots in this state than actually voted, in the voter rolls, it just was ridiculous. But they let it go. And when Pence accepted all of those ballots, and with those electoral college votes, even though people were standing there saying, we had all these irregularities in our state, we don't want you to accept it. We were asking you to send it back. And he didn't. He took them. So he's the one that made it legitimate. Okay. Yeah. Pence. Okay. And, people just don't understand how the government works and how the steps matter about what you do. And then I heard all these people, these conspiracy people, oh, it's fake, he stole it, and they're going to turn it back around. But they had to let this go through to prove, that there was cheating, all this bullshit. And I said, you guys are full of shit. This was accepted. It's been signed, sealed, and delivered. And now we have a president, and it is not Trump. It is Biden. He is our president. And he's still president, and he's in the history books as president. And that's it. It's never, his names will never come out. That's just the way it is. And one day there'll be statues of Biden, and who knows what. I'm just saying, this is the facts, okay? And Democrats lock arm in arm, and they do everything together. Even if they can't stand each other, they will still stick by the rules for their party. We don't have that in the Conservative Party, because we have pride. we hate to lose. We hate to admit that we were wrong or whatever. So we will argue with each other. The Democrats don't. They'll kiss each other's ass all the way to the finish line.
Well, speaking of Democrats,
but now they're not.
Yeah, they are so fractured. A lot of people don't actually bring this up, because they're not really paying attention, because everybody, or the focus is on Trump right now, because they don't want, or they want the focus to stay on Trump, because if they focus on Biden, it's over again. And not only that, all the Democrats are fractured right now. When they do an open convention, do you not, or they are all going to show just how power hungry they are. They're going to be clamoring for a vote. The smartest thing they can do, even though it's not going to win them the election, is to go Kamala Harris, because they get the war chest with whoever she goes with. You take Kamala Harris off that ticket, you don't get the Democratic war chest. All those donations are void. They can't transfer. So yeah, the Democrats are in disarray. Why do you think Kamala has not come out and openly said, I support Joe Biden? Because she'll say it on the news, but she will say it with such hollow echoes in her voice that it's almost as if she was a freaking robot. People don't, and I love how she came out against J.D. Vance. It's like, J.D. Vance has no interest in serving the country. It's like, right. And what the fuck did you do to serve your country? Oh, right. That's right. You got on your fucking knees and sucked like a good little whore. I'm sorry, freaking Madam Vice President, but you really should not speak about a fucking Marine like that. But yeah, especially when you freaking dirtied your knees to get where you are in politics. I mean, I'm pretty sure you had to dirty your knees in the Oval Office just to get where you are. But then again, yeah, we won't go there. But the point is, folks, the Democrats are so freaking divided right now that there is no chance of winning. They can have all the illegal votes they want. They're not going to get the White House. They have, or the assassination attempt against Donald Trump, against former President Trump and future President Trump, the once and future president. That assassination attempt galvanized and woke up all the people who love to sit on their fucking couches during election year and say, that's all right. He's going to win anyway. Not unless you get off your fat fucking asses and get to the goddamn ballot boxes. Or as the fossil in office says, the battle boxes. And it's like, yeah. I also like this. It's like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not dropping out of a race. We can have an open convention. Yada, yada, yada. It's like, didn't these jackasses accuse Trump of not wanting to leave and not going to leave power? He's going to try to dig in. And look what the fuck Biden's doing. But then again, is it really Biden? No. It's his fucking fishnet trench coat corner whore named Jill Biden, who's freaking hoarding all the power for herself. She's yelling at everybody, don't you talk to my husband that way. And fucking, even fucking fossil Nancy Pelosi. Fossil Pelosi got it there. And it's like, okay, look, Joe, we love you, but you got to step aside. Fuck you, Nancy.
Okay.
Show him the fucking polls.
If someone would give you $1 trillion or 10 trillion, 25 trillion, whatever the amount it is, to say that
use it to pay off the national debt, I'd give every fucking cent to it.
Or yeah, well, I'm saying, how can the Democrats win?
They can't. This is a lose situation.
How can they win? I'm asking, is there a scenario they can win?
Yeah.
They can't win. There is no way for them to win.
Okay, Janet, what's the scenario?
Cheat.
How?
They did it already and it worked.
And they can't get away with it again.
Who says? Are you going to be at the polls, working the polls to keep people from cheating when you're there?
No.
See, that's what I'm trying. That's what I tell people. They can cheat because they did last time, and if the people in charge don't step up and stop them from cheating again, they're going to do it again. Okay, that's all I'm saying. They did it last time, but they may not do it in the exact same polling place that they did last time. They'll just pick different ones to get the cheat in. Okay, and they just have to pick different states this time and pick these different states to do it. Now, honestly, if it's an honest election, I really think that we're going to have, like I said, how many states? I think at least 47 states are going to vote for Trump. I think that's more than it's ever done. But I don't know for sure. That's my gut feeling. If it's fair, if it's a fair election.
Is there any way that RFK Jr. or any other third-party candidate could make a dent in the race?
I don't know of anyone that I think they could step up and make a dent. Because if anybody right now that steps up, it's going to be on the left, not on the right this time.
Janet, from Rough Girl in my chat, are those Govey curtain lights?
Yes. And you use your phone. It's an app on your phone and you can adjust it. Let me see. I'll show her real quick. That's what I was getting ready to do, but I can't write.
Call me later,
my thing here. It won't work. It's called Govey Home, and you click on the little app, and it has now if I back it up some, you can do a whole scene like a waterfall, a big heart. And my favorite one is this one because I like it because it looks like it could be it's a meteor shower, the one that I have on right now. But this is the other one that I like to use is Bubbles. I think it's really pretty. And you can also use a solid color if you like the different colors. See?
Nice.
So I like it. I think it's really cool that you can do it, and you can change the brightness. You can make it really, really bright, or you can make it a little dimmer. Yeah, I really like it. And I have a curtain rod, a curved one, that you put on your shower to give you a little more elbow room, hanging from my ceiling. And then I just bought some black curtains, and I have the little holders holding the curtain up. And then on that is where I got the light strung, hanging from it. And then I have a little switch right over here where I can just flip it on and off. But yeah, that's what it is. I love them. I think it's great. You have a good night too.
Mm-hmm.
So just wanted her to see it. Okay, I'm sorry. Now we'll go back to what we were discussing, because the next thing I wanted to talk about was Corey's funeral service. If I wanted to spotlight on that before we got into the other heavy subject. If anybody wants to let me share that real quick. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. I just think it's so sad that someone had to die at a Trump rally. But the thing is, everything I've seen, interviews and stuff, nobody blames, the conservatives or Trump. Nobody blames him for it. So I'm glad about that, except for some
MSNBC.
liberals,
MSNBC is
definitely have.
constantly.
But I'm gonna push play on here so we can. I think I got it turned up. Where is the? Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's up. Okay, here we go.
It's our honor to honor Corey. That's why we're all here today. He stood for us. We're going to stand for him.
We're here to support the family of Corey Comparator. He's a pillar in our community. We're also here to support America. We were attacked. Our country was attacked senselessly, and we lost lives.
It doesn't surprise me so many people showed up, especially volunteer firemen, retired volunteer firemen. It's a family you saw today.
So we didn't personally know Corey, but we knew he was a big part of the community. We wanted to do something nice to honor Corey. So we decided to put a sign in our yard for everyone to view as they went by today. Corey. You did good. Here in our town, we just support one another quite a bit, and we have each other's backs no matter what, and God is a really heavy presence in our community.
It's so sweet and so patriotic to have such good
Service Director
in our world, that we still have this. We still have people that love this country and love people in it, your neighbors, and they want to help people in their communities and stuff. And I that just gives me hope for our country when I see stuff like this. It warms my heart. It's a sad reason why these people had to do this, but it was just like after 9/11, people rallied together and wanted to help other people out of the kindness of their heart, and it wasn't something that they felt they had to be forced into doing. I remember how upset people were when they were forced to have to wear masks, especially people that didn't feel like they should have to be forced to be able to be told they had to wear a mask. And now we find out the mask didn't even really help. It was basically a psychological thing. And what's sad is I still see people driving around in the cars with masks on, and see people shopping and everything thinking masks work. I have allergies so bad. I mean, and when I go to tell people, I hate to tell you this, but you know that mask doesn't work, because anything that you think can get up in your nose or in your mouth and in your throat's in your eyes, and your blood vessels are right there. So whatever it is you think you're protecting yourself, you're not. Unless you have a full body costume on with oxygen supplied to it and stuff, you're being exposed to whatever it is. So I just feel sorry for these people, because they're grasping at things. And I'm seeing so many people having nervous breakdowns, and they're alcoholics. They become alcoholics and drug addicts because of all this stuff that's happened to them in the last 3.5 years. And it's sad. I mean, we have a mental health crisis right now. That's another thing that Trump's going to deal with. All these people whose lives have been broken because of losing their jobs, or because they've had 15 boosters, and stuff, and they're still getting sick, because their immune system is shot, or whatever it is. We have got to find out how we're going to help people, and that's going to be another burden on top of Trump that people are going to expect him to fix, of which it's not going to be something you can fix overnight. It's just a lot going to be on Trump's plate, trying to get back jobs, get us medically independent, where we can have our own drugs. We don't have to rely on another country for drugs, or chips for computers, or car parts, oil, food, all these things, and to close our borders. It's just a big, huge burden. It's going to be on Trump as soon as he steps in office, and then everybody's going to demand that he can take care of it, and get it fixed. So that's why it's going to be so important that we get state representatives, senators, and congressmen all voted in too, that are MAGA people that will support Trump and get some of this stuff passed in these states. That's why I constantly say, you have to start with your state. You got to take back your towns, your schools, your communities, your cities, and your state. Because if we can take our states back, we'll eventually end up with our federal government back. But it's going to be us. We have to help. We have to help our states to win. That's the only way we're going to win, is by taking it back, us. And you don't have to do it through shooting a bunch of people or anything like that. You do it by going and being active in your communities. That's how like these people that you saw all standing out there on the road and putting out signs and waving flags in support of a fallen soldier in their town, that went to support a person they wanted to vote for president of the United States to help our country, and they were killed because of it. Okay, so us standing side by side, showing our support for each other, is how we're going to win. I really do. I really do believe that. What do you guys think?
I think that Keith Olbermann's freaking out again and hopefully gets sued.
Not again. What now? What?
Day ago.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, this thing. Why is Trump lying about the assassination attempt? 5 days later, no confirmation, not even an anonymous statement from law enforcement or a medical authority that he was hit by a bullet. Why? Why lie? They've
been saying that. You can see the pictures. It shows you bullets whizzing by his head.
Yep. And it's
so apparently he just doesn't want to see it.
He is just one. No, you're right. Keith Olbermann is just a massive, and I'm going to use this word accurately, folks. He's a massive retard. He is held back and hindered, which is the definition of retarded. He is held back and hindered by his own Trump derangement syndrome, his Trump anxiety syndrome, which is actually a clinical diagnosis nowadays. Mm-hmm. There's actually a thing called a clinical diagnosis called Trump anxiety syndrome. And retards like Keith Olbermann, Joy Reid, who privatized her account recently. So yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she locked her account after she started bitching about Trump and whatnot and getting hit with the glass shit. And it's like, fuck you, you dumb bitch, get out of here. But it's, oh my gosh, it is just so fucking hilarious. But yeah, it's just, I find it hilarious that these people are so fucking deranged. But I am also freaking happy about somebody like Libs of TikTok, who has been on a fucking crusade over the last week. Holy shit, that woman. I mean, don't get me wrong, folks. I do not like cancel culture, and a lot of people say, oh, she's engaging in cancel culture. No, she is engaging as what's known as accountability culture. There is a difference. You do not freaking say shit like that on a public forum and expect your bosses not to find out. Because, yeah, people tend to shy away from freaks who are wishing death upon a president. And just so you know, folks, I blocked a fucking family member when she decided to say, by the way, I fucking hate that he missed. And it's like, guess what? You being family is not protecting you. I am blocking you, and you're damn lucky that you are a retired Marine and you're not currently fucking employed, because I would have sent that fucking comment to your employer. I don't care if you're fucking family. I don't care if you are fucking my second cousin, first cousin. I don't care if you're my fucking brother or sister. You say that shit on my fucking or in my fucking comment sections, I'm reporting your ass.
You see, I've never would ever think about that. I said the other night that I cried when Bill Clinton won. Okay, I cried. Okay, not because I hated Bill Clinton. I cried because of what I thought was going to happen to our country, where the direction our country was going, right? And then when Obama won, I did the same thing. I cried again. Because I'm like, why can't people see what these people are doing to our country? Why can't they open their eyes and understand they're taking our rights away? Yeah, you're getting some free stuff for a little while, but that only lasts so long. When the money runs out, when there's nobody working anymore, we have less than 50% of the United States of Americans are putting in to the system. And when it gets down to 30%, where do you think we're going to be? You know, where's our country going to be? Are we going to be able to defend our borders anymore?
I mean, here's the thing. A lot of people say that we are losing our freedoms, which we are and whatnot. I mean, you can actually now draw a fucking comparison to episode 3 in Star Wars, folks. In order to remain, or in order to continue, or remain stability, or in order to ensure remaining stability and security, the Republic must be reorganized into the first American Empire. Except that's going to be Joe Biden's speech, because we all saw him. Well, no, actually, a lot of people would love to say that it's Trump, because a lot of people actually have been putting Trump's face over Palpatine. The attempt on my life has left me scarred and deformed. But I assure you, my resolve has never been stronger. And it's like, look, I get that fucking works on his ass. Or I get that fucking works with the words in that certain fucking section of that speech. But that speech was entirely fucking communist. Because it's like, this is how liberty dies, with thunderous applause. I mean, she said it perfectly in the fucking film. And, oh my God, I'm going on and nerd for a moment. But yeah, it's like, I wouldn't compare Trump to Palpatine. Palpatine fucking was killing world and shit.
Well, the people that I know that's done that, they were doing it because it was funny.
Oh yeah, I know. They're doing it because it's funny, and it's all good fun.
Trump is a communist or anything like that. So, to me, I thought it was
mostly MAGA people doing it. So I know that they're doing it in all, or I know that they're doing it in all good fun and shit. But it's like, part of me is like, pick a better character, please. pick a better fucking character. I know it matches because of the fucking words, but pick a better
I've seen
character.
so many
As a Star
memes
Wars
of
fan.
Trump dressed like Captain America,
Damn straight.
Superman, Batman, all these different things. So, I think it's great because people tend to do that to people that they look up to. I mean,
Yep.
honestly.
Oh, yeah.
So
I mean,
I thought it was great. But
Did you see-
I wanted to share this other one, this other message that I saw about David Burke, and he's the other one of the people that was shot. That was in critical, but now he's in stable condition. It says the name of one of the shooting victims from the Butler Trump rally has been revealed. David Jake Dutch, a 57-year-old Marine Corps veteran who served in Operation Desert Storm and was struck twice, once in the stomach and once in the liver. Friends from the local VFW describe him as a wonderful man who loves his country and loves President Trump. He is still in critical. Oh, he's in critical. So it must be the other one that's in stable. Prayers for Dutch and his family. And I just wanted to share this, and I'm going to share this link. If you're on X, I would appreciate it if you would go and just say something in the timeline, to pray for him or whatever, but to share it and let his family and friends know that we care about him, that we support him, because it's terrible what some of these people are having to go through in their families simply because they were going to a rally to support a person that they believe is going to help our country. So I just wanted to put that out there for everybody so you could see it.
Old school Yankee. And to anybody else who, if you guys could do freaking memes and shit, everybody knows that the end or Captain America, Steve Rogers, in the end of Endgame looked very much like Joe Biden. When Chris Evans had that old man makeup on, he looked very much like Joe Biden. So they should make a fucking meme where Sam Wilson is saying, Mr. President, we need you to drop out of the race. And then show old Cap, no, I don't think I will. I mean, and that would just be the perfect fucking thing. He's not dropping out, folks. When the fucking DNC starts, I guarantee you, he's gonna they're gonna try freaking walking him up. He's gonna walk up like fucking Palpatine Burns and all those other fucking stiff fingers like this, the crooked little fucking fingers and shit. He's gonna have fucking spiders in his hair, and he's gonna freaking have a fossil dust coming out of his ears. And Joe Biden's going to be like, I love this man. He's my husband. And I guarantee you, folks, when they're going back to the White House, she's probably fucking yelling at him, and he's probably curled up in a fucking fetal position. That woman is a fucking abuser. I'm telling you that right now. She was 13 when those two fucking met. I can't fucking tell you how old.
He was their babysitter.
Yeah.
So, basically,
Pretty sure he was probably touching her too, just like
I'm sure he was, and it's disgusting. But the thing is, this kind of life is the only life she knows, basically.
Yeah.
So
Stockholm syndrome, where she actually took over.
Yep, basically. But I wanted to share this. This was something I shared on my timeline, but I want to share it because I believe in my heart that Trump didn't die because it was a miracle. I really do believe the hand of God, for whatever reason, got Trump to move his head right when he needed to, right when that bullet was coming, because he didn't know the bullet was headed to him. He didn't know, but he turned his head. And even if he did know, most people would just jump or scream or whatever. You wouldn't know what to do. The thing is, he didn't know it was coming, but God knew. And I want to show you this because this is the angle of where that bullet would have went, right here, right where my little hand is on there. And look at this.
And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Move it there. Hold. When you're ready. On you. Ready. Move. Up. Move. Go. Up. Hawkeye's here. You ready?
Hawkeye. Okay.
Okay.
You're going to have to change some designations now that that shit's made public.
Where former President Trump was speaking on the stage.
But I just wanted to share that because when I saw David Harris had those pictures, the before and after, I just went, oh my God, it's a miracle. It really, to me, I can't stop thinking about it. It is a miracle that he's even alive.
They should petition the Pope, or they should petition the Vatican to actually declare it a miracle.
I just don't see how it can't be. And then that picture I shared on my timeline too, about the bullet. You can see the bullet in midair.
Old school Yankee, he was dead before Trump even got up.
Yeah, I think he was dead.
They put
too.
a bullet in him right after those shots rang out. They put a bullet in his ass.
He shot 8 bullets.
Or in his head. Yeah.
And the thing is, this is why I really believe it was an inside job, because he got 8 rounds off. Okay. One guy got shot twice. The other guy got shot in the head after he pushed his wife to the ground and he jumped on top of his daughter. Yep. That was his funeral that we saw. Corey did that. And then there's another young man, a man that got shot in the throat. And he's the one that's not in critical now. I think he was some state representative's son or something like that. I don't know who he is yet, but as soon as I find out, I will try to show a video of him or a picture of him. The thing is that as soon as Trump grabbed his ear and went to his knees, they shot him. So whatever happened, and if he was working for someone or whatever, we won't know because he's gone. Yeah. And they wanted to make sure that they waited until he got as many rounds off as it took to take Trump out from what it seemed like it. Because that interview I showed last night on the Team Shit Show was a sniper, and that's what he did for a living. And he said that guy shouldn't have got a single round off, not one.
Nope. They had him fucking tagged.
Rounds, 8 shots. Okay. People, it's like click, 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 click. Snap your finger that many times. That's a lot of time. And that other timeline that I showed, it showed 2 minutes, 2 full minutes from the minute people were yelling, there's a guy on the roof with a gun. Yep. There's a guy on the roof with a gun for 2 minutes. And Trump was just going on. All they had to do was get on the radio and say, get him out of there. There's a guy on the roof with a gun. Nobody would have been shot, because if Trump was out of the picture, there was no reason for him to shoot the gun to kill the other people.
There's a lot of questions that need to be answered Monday. That's all I'm going to say on that bit.
So,
because here's the thing,
I just
folks.
wanted people to see that, because that's how close Trump came to dying. It was a bullet. It grazed his ear, and we got to see where it would have hit him if the guy had been able to shoot and Trump hadn't moved his head.
It is all very suspicious, old school Yank, because I mean, here's the thing. He should never have been on that stage. They knew it's coming out. They knew of this shit an hour before he fucking got up on that stage. He should never have even had the fucking rally. Yo, look. Hey, Iman, good to see you, man. Thanks. But, yeah, they should have never fucking let him up on the fucking rally.
Yeah, the place was never secure. They never secured that place.
He comes in with a
rangefinder. You know what, though? Honestly, if you think about it,
rifle rangefinder, though. It wasn't
as bad as the security was, we're lucky it was just that one guy. It could have been 16 people there with weapons wanting to shoot him.
Yep.
As bad as it was, the security was terrible. They did not secure that place at all. It was not secure.
You're right. And
so
then here's the thing. Biden's like, we need to tone down the rhetoric. And he's even saying that to the media, and even the media, they fucking 48 hours later. But here's the fucking thing, folks, because I didn't get the rant about this last Saturday or last Friday because I wasn't here. I had family over. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, oh, the Republicans need to tone down the rhetoric. I have a video on my phone here that I want to play. I'm going to play the video. You all know a lot of these clips. You all will know these. So, yeah, just listen to this shit and tell me, was it ever us that fucking was talking about violence and shit?
I can't hear you. You have to turn it up a little louder.
Better?
I can't really hear it. I don't know if you guys can.
Hold on. Better?
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I'd like to take it behind the chin if I were in high school. In high school, I'd take it behind the chin and beat the hell out of him. You know, I wish you were in high school, I could take it behind the chin. I will go and take Trump out tonight. When was the last time an actor assassinated a president? You're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump. Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
You're going to go in there winning.
This is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be? Does one of us have to come out alive? You might be ready to throw a punch, but you have to be ready.
Yeah, all the fucking vice president was the last one. If you were in or on Ellen, if you were in a thing with or an elevator with Trump, Pence, or whatever, who would it be? Does one of them have to come out alive? She fucking wanted to kill President Trump. Our current fucking vice president wanted to kill Donald Trump. And she's fucking saying, oh, these people are not, or she's fucking trying to say unity, trying to say that they fucking care and shit. They're the most violent, folks. They're the fucking party of the KKK.
Well, who was it the one that held up the Trump's head? Remember that?
Yeah, that was
blood dripping from it.
Kathy Griffin.
Kathy Griffin. See, that's all they've done. That's all they ever do.
Yeah, these are the ones that freaking did KKK, Jim Crow. They're the fucking ones that became the Confederate fucking Army. The Confederate Army then later became the fucking Democratic Party. They're the ones that voted against the civil rights of the 60s. They're the ones that, and yet they have the fucking gall to call us the fucking racists. They have the fucking gall to say that we're the fucking violent ones. Oh, January 6th. Trump incited an insurrection. You guys incited a presidential assassination attempt. So you have no fucking argument here. You have no legitimate stance ever again. Because anytime, and I pray to God that these fucking Congress people that don't listen to us anymore, they're just only fucking filling their coffers. If you are ever on a fucking liberal media, and if they ever say, well, Trump incited an insurrection, and I please, for the love of God, tell them right back in their face, you incited a presidential assassination attempt because your violent rhetoric over 8 fucking years. Going on 9 to 10 years, because you were doing it as soon as fucking Trump announced his candidacy, announced his run.
Mm-hmm.
You were all saying this shit, this fucking vile bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And you fucking have the gall to say we're the fucking violent ones? Get the fuck out of here. I mean, if I ever saw you in a fucking bar or any of that shit, I'm not going to fucking throw a punch at you, but I am going to say it is in your best interest to leave this fucking bar, because we don't want fucking assassination inciting pieces of shit liberals like you disturbing the peace. Because that is all you have ever done. You are the ones who are responsible for this crazy fucking lunatic that got a bullet in his head taking a shot at our president.
Yep.
Whether he be former president or not, he is still considered a president. And yes, I fully admit, this guy may have been registered Republican. I'm registered Republican. Guess what? Doesn't mean I'm fucking always voted party lines. I've even called Trump a fucking retard when he said that people or video games are making people violent or making kids violent and all that shit. I'm living proof that they don't. So yeah, I'm not a blind Trump supporter simply because I'm fucking Republican. No, I'm a registered Republican. I'm more of a constitutional conservative. Yeah, sorry, I saw that. I skipped a little bit. I'm more of a constitutional conservative and shit. But the thing is, I'm not going to vote for somebody simply because it's a fucking popular thing. I wanted to vote for Ramaswamy, but Ramaswamy dropped out before the freaking New York primary. So yeah, I was going to actually vote for Ramaswamy during the primary, but he dropped out. So yeah, I ended up going for Trump for the freaking primary. But I mean, I don't always vote for popular
I want to
things.
play this interview with this sniper because he mentioned something about rhetoric that Biden said by putting a target on Trump.
Oh yeah, the bullseye comment. It's about time we put Trump in the bullseye. Yeah.
I want to play this because I think this guy knows what he's talking about, and it just gives you an idea of what you just said. It opens the whole thing up, but it explains a lot when it comes to what happened and what a professional person that is in that position thinks happened on Saturday. So I'm going to play this really quick so you guys can all see it and hear it if you haven't seen it already. But this is a really good interview.
Let's bring in Florida former U.S. Army sniper, Corey Mills. What kind of shot was this, Corey, from 130 yards?
Look, at the end of the day, this is a shot that your basic training boot camp soldier is requested to make within their 9-week period. This is one of the easiest shots, and they train all the way out till 300 or 500. And when I was doing the counter sniper, it wasn't with the United States Army. It was actually when I was with the State Department and was doing this exact thing, which is trying to look at going out with an advanced team, establishing what the perimeter is. And then as a sniper, when you would set up, you'd put together your range sketch or your range fan cards. And that would tell you where your 100, your 200, your 300, and you'd identify the areas of threat that you would be able to mitigate. And if there's multiple targets, you understand that your elevation and windage knob wouldn't have to be messed with, especially at 160 yards. You could literally just look, quickly glance, and know from the reference point, whether it be a building, whether it be a lone tree, whether it be a parking lot, maybe it's a road. Bottom line is that this is massive negligence to the point of me speculating on what was intentional and what wasn't.
Wow. When you're doing a site survey and you're seeing this rooftop not that far away, why did it look like the counter sniper team was a little surprised?
You know, I can only speculate, and we'll have to wait until the investigation comes out, that they thought local law enforcement was potentially climbing up onto the roof when they saw a dark object on a light roof. But here's the issue.
Wait. You're saying maybe they misconstrued crooks for local law enforcement?
It's very possible. I don't want to speculate until the investigation is over, but the bottom line is that if you saw someone climbing onto a roof that you hadn't authorized any clearance on, it's got a clear line of sight. It's exactly adjacent to the shooting where the president was sitting, and you're talking about a pop shot, and you got people yelling, and there should have been comms. The minute that local law enforcement, who apparently had a rifle pointed on them, there should have been an emergency frequent comms channel that they could have said, we have a shooter on the roof, shooter on the roof. Secret Service should have rushed the stage and immediately took the president and took him off, and then responded with a counter sniper. The shot should not have gone off. That is the failure in itself. You're supposed to be able to try, the best security is when you go in and you're actually able to prevent an incident, not react to an incident. Even if you would have left a law enforcement officer's patrol car in that parking lot with the lights on, that could have been a deterrent. But when you have nothing that is actually showing force protection, you're encouraging this. Look, I'm not sure about who the individuals are on the individual detail Secret Service, but I can tell you under this Biden administration, the one thing I've seen is massive DEI hires. And I can tell you, when you primarily go after DEI, you end up with DIE.
So when you have
Love that.
snipers waiting until 8 rounds are fired, what accounts for that?
To be honest with
After
you,
the first shot, you get a
8
return
rounds.
fire immediately?
the minute that a shot rang out, they should have already been on scope. Your spotter should have already have called the distance if you hadn't looked at your range card, and you should have immediately engaged.
Okay.
There should have been no reason to have waited a single second. Now, I talked to Eric Trump after the incident. Eric and I are both gun enthusiasts. We both shoot long distance. That right there is a pop shot. He did say, I've gone out with the CS teams, and they are one of the best. He knows the service detail that's with them. They are loyal individuals who actually do care about the president. I can say that was relayed to me. But the bottom line is this is a massive security breach. This is a huge failure. At negligence is at best. But we have to figure out why something within 200 yards. Think about this, Jesse, 200 yards. That means that an average rifle that holds 1 minute of angle would hold a 2-inch grouping if you just shot it straight off the deck, meaning on a platform. So now you're talking about 160, which is 1.6 inches is what its grouping capabilities are. The average head is what? 6'8", shoulder to shoulder is 20 inches, head to waist is 40 inches, and President Trump's a very large man. This is a shot that within 5 minutes I could teach you to make 9 out of 10 times. So this is divine intervention. This is the God having his protective hand and wearing Ephesians 6, the armor of God, over the president, because this right here, a millisecond or a millimeter and change, and this isn't an attempted assassination. This is an assassination of a president.
Yeah. The devil was in Butler, Pennsylvania, but so was God.
Well, and I can say one more thing, if I may, which is that let us also remember that King Henry II went in and said, can no one rid me of this turbulent priest? And his knights went out and killed the Archbishop of Canterbury because they thought that was a direct order. What do you say when President Biden says it's time to put a target on Trump? That, in my opinion, is the insightful rhetoric. That's the stuff that they would have went after for the J6 stuff. So why don't we have our own J13 investigation?
Yeah, there needs to be a full investigation on this, absolutely. And it needs to not be crooked like some of these other former investigations were.
That's right.
Politicians. Mills, you're the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's bring in.
There you go.
Corey Mills, man.
That's exactly what he said. The rhetoric when Biden said, put a target on Trump. There you go. That's basically what he was saying. And that's what this young man thought. Well, yeah, I'm going to put a target on him. I'm going to put a target on all of them because I hate politicians. And Trump just happened to be the easiest target. Why? Because they didn't have any security. The place was wide open.
I did hear something about that 6:11 p.m. thing. And with Ephesians 6:11, did it actually happen at 6:11 p.m.?
I don't know.
Because that I don't know, because I want to look that up to see if that's verified, because as much as it would be an interesting coincidence with the Ephesians 6:11 armor of God, I want that confirmed before.
Well, how would you confirm it? Could you do that?
There is, or you can look up timelines with these sort of
we
things.
need to look that up, because I've got a lot of my Christian friends that are saying, yeah, that's true or whatever. So I don't know. I haven't looked it up.
I'm looking it up right now.
That is I have heard that from many people. And the fact is, just like I showed, it is a miracle he's alive, period. And when you hear the screaming in the background, the woman screaming, that's when she realized her husband's head's been blown off, basically. It's sad. The whole thing is just horrible. But the fact is, honest fact is, common sense tells you that if they had called and said, get Trump down, and they would have got him off the stage and whisked him to his vehicle, nobody would have got shot. There was no reason for that guy to shoot anyone else.
Okay, so what I looked up here, Secret Service notified its snipers at 5:53 p.m. Source said at 6:02 p.m. Trump took the stage. At 6:09 p.m., members of the crowd notified police that Crooks 20 was on a rooftop. 2 minutes later, Crooks opened fire on Trump at 6:11 p.m.
That's amazing, isn't it?
So it is, in fact, I mean, I honestly do think now, more than ever, somebody should fucking petition the Vatican. As much as I'm not a current or fan of the current Pope, I do believe that they should definitely petition the Vatican with divine providence over Donald Trump. Now, I'm not saying that they need to proclaim Donald Trump divine in any shape, way, or form.
No.
But what happened in fucking Butler, Pennsylvania,
was a miracle. And that's exactly what the sniper just said. He just said that was divine intervention. And he didn't say it because he knew it was 6/11. He knew it because of what he did for many, many years, that the only way that he didn't get shot in the head was divine intervention. There's just no way that this kid, even though people said he's just a dumb kid, he couldn't do it. And I said, 18-year-old kids are trained to do this in boot camp before they can graduate at farther distance than that kid was shooting.
I could have made that shot. And I
haven't shot a gun.
I haven't shot a gun in over 20 years, folks.
The fact that nobody was on that roof. Nobody was on that roof. I thought there'd be somebody on every roof that is close enough to be able to get a good shot if you weren't a pro, right? And they should have had drones up. They should have done a lot of shit. None of it was done because somebody wanted something. Just like he said, all they had to do was put a car out there with a light to show them that we have people out here. Some different things. There was nothing deterring anyone. Just like he said, you're inviting people to come in and take Trump out. That's basically what he trains people to do as a sniper, is to say, this is what we have to do. We have to protect the perimeter so people can't come in and do these things. But they had nothing. It was wide open territory. It's shocking there wasn't a bunch of people with Uzis and who knows what ready to shoot Trump and whoever else they wanted. A bomb could have went off for all we know. They didn't even have dogs there to sniff the bombs
on his person, and he had bombs in his car.
Okay, but the thing is, we don't know what else he had planned because he's dead.
I mean, they already confirmed that he had pictures of Biden on his phone. This means, and he also, it's confirmed by people who went to school with him. This man hated politicians. He said that the premiere was going to be on 6/13 when he took his shot at Trump. If he had lived, he was going to, or I guarantee you, he would have went after Biden next. If Trump would have been killed, and if he, by some miracle, escaped, he would have gone after Biden. Now, folks, as much as I am a constitutional conservative, and as much as I support Donald Trump, I am willing to engage that with the facts that go against the right-wing narrative where a lot of people would love to go. This guy hated politicians. He wanted to kill Trump and Biden and possibly others too. This guy had both of them on his phone. Not just one, but both of them. Chances are he probably would have went after RFK as well. This person was completely fucked in the head, and just because he's registered Republican, he also gave to left-wing organizations and other things. He was not only that, He was in BlackRock commercials.
You have
So
to
yeah,
remember-
this guy had some pretty left-leaning associations.
You have to
Whether
remember
or
if you
not
want to
he was right-wing or not.
Yeah, if you have to vote in a primary, remember you have to register for the party. So
Yeah.
he may have just registered Republican to vote against Donald
Yeah.
Trump.
Yeah, that
It doesn't
or
matter what your registration is. You
or
can vote
his
however you wish
parents-
later on.
or he voted or he registered as Republican to piss off his parents. I mean, there's a lot of things he could have done it for, because a lot of kids are rebellious against their parents, and whatever religion they are, they want to be the opposite. And whatever political party they are, they want to be the opposite. And that's typical for teenagers. Teenagers are all rebellious against their parents at a certain age. They don't agree with them, or they may not tell their parents, but they'll do stuff that's totally opposite of what they know their parents would want them to do. Especially a child or a young adult that's wanting to break away from their parents. So to me, that whole thing is no. Do what?
Sorry to interrupt, but who's the Jimmy Rizzo guy in the chat?
I don't know. There's a circle around
one
it.
of your friends, or is he just one of the?
He's not one of my friends. It must be for Rubens. One of Rubens'
or
friends.
mine, yeah. But
Or
because
your
this dude's freaking throwing some shade and shit. And it's like, I'm sorry, but
that's okay. It's America. You have the right to throw shade.
Yeah, I get it. Friendly or freedom of speech, yes, obviously, of course. But it's like, dude, you're saying that this is all one-sided. I've freaking said that some of what she has said in previous ones as well, that some of what she has said, Janet here, or Janet over here.
We don't all agree.
We don't always agree. I've said that some of what she has said is very fucking out there and very fucking nuts at times.
Yeah, like what I'm about to talk about, what I'm about to bring up about the tower. The water tower is going to be something I don't even really know if I believe it. The thing is, I think it's important that we get stuff out and that's why I share the links in the chat, because I think everyone should go and look for themselves and figure it out for themselves and see whether or not what you believe, because it is America, and I do believe in free speech, and I do believe that everyone has a right to vote for whoever they want, but you should vote. Period. The person that bitches and moans and never gets off their ass is the person that's causing all of us problems, because they're not following through and doing what they should be doing, because somebody died to give you that right. Okay, to make this country what it is today, the freest country in the world. Even with all the problems that we have right now, we still have freedom to own a weapon, the freedom to own your own home, freedom to speak out against your government, to burn our flag, all these things. And I still believe that everyone should have the right to do that, period. Even if I wouldn't do it.
May not agree with it, but I will support your ability to do it.
That's right. And we said that. I've always said that.
Yeah. Old school Yankee here has a question. Before we get into yours, trust me, I want to answer this. What do you guys think about BlackRock shorting Truth Social stock few days before the assassination attempt? Honestly, cosmic coincidence. However, I am not going to didn't
they fix that now?
I have no idea.
I think they fixed it. I thought I saw that they said it was a mistake, blah, 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 a clerical mistake or whatever. So as long as people got their money back and that they didn't lose money, the people that own the stock, I think that it could be a mistake. But if people did lose money and it's not been corrected, then they need to correct it.
Yeah.
Period.
But then basically trying to short the stock for Truth Social, because they know folks, if Donald Trump was assassinated, Truth Social stock plummets completely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, if somebody does try to sell shares or anything, watching the stock market and then seeing an event happen, there should be an automatic investigation into any sort of odd trading that goes on.
Yeah, isn't that why What was her name? The cook, the famous TV cook that went to jail for insider
Martha
trading.
Stewart.
Yeah, Martha Stewart. So people do go to jail for trying to rip off people, and they should. And I wish more people that are, that do those things could go to jail. I don't know that much about stocks and stuff, but if somebody is stealing from another person by lying to them or showing them fake documents, it's the same thing as some of these scammers, that pretend to be somebody they're not, to get people to give them money or to get nude pictures of someone so they can blackmail them. All those things that should all be punishable by crimes to go to jail, or make them pay back the person the money they stole. I mean, I did a show a couple weeks back and I talked about that young boy. He was 12 when he first started, and he was 13 when he committed suicide in his front yard because he had Snapchat, and someone got on Snapchat and acted like they were a 13-year-old girl and got him to send risque pictures of himself to them on Snapchat. And then after he did, they started sending him messages saying, if you don't send me $25 every day on PayPal, I'm going to show everybody your picture. So he did. He was paying him money. And then he finally said, hey, I'm a kid. I don't have a job. I have no way to keep paying you. My parents are going to turn this off and I'm not going to have any money. And so he committed suicide. Okay. He was being blackmailed, a kid. Okay. And as far as I know, they don't know who did it. And they were trying to sue Snapchat to give out the information so they could find out who this person was that was blackmailing a kid. And Snapchat's wanting them to make them go to court and shit. And they lost their kid. So stupid shit like that has got to be, we've got to do something about stopping these sickos from being able to steal and swindle people. There's got to be something you can do, because not everybody is a grown person that knows that they're being swindled. They just, for whatever reason, and we have to have some rights for these people, some way of retribution, of getting their money back, just like what they were saying about the being shorted for the stock. Now, if you dig into it and you find out that, there's too many things that aren't adding up, that maybe people were involved in trying to scam people, or someone knew that someone was going to shoot somebody or something like that, then the people should be punished for it. But they should do it through the courts, the way our forefathers set up the courts, okay, for a reason, for us to have law and order, something that a lot of people that came to America when we first started were trying to get away from the tyranny of a king being able to just throw their weight around because they don't like you, or because you're married to the woman he's in love with, or whatever, persecution, like basically what we've seen over these last 2 years of what they did to Trump through lawfare, okay? And the same thing they're doing right now still with the January 6ers. Misdemeanors, and these people have been in jail for 3 years over it and lost everything, their homes, their jobs, and all of our misdemeanors. I mean, it's just ridiculous that they're able to get away with all this shit. And that means they don't believe in the Constitution, because basically they've wiped their asses with our Constitution or those people's rights. Okay. And I think it's ridiculous. So, and I didn't go to the Capitol. I wasn't there, but all I can tell you is not one person's been charged with insurrection. Not one person's been found guilty of insurrection, but that's all you hear. That's all you hear about. But not one person's been convicted of it. So it's ridiculous. They shouldn't even be allowed to say it, because it wasn't an insurrection. If it was an insurrection, a real insurrection in the country where we have 300 million people and over half of them have guns, and nobody shows up with guns to take over the Capitol. I mean, come on. That proves that it was an insurrection. It's just ridiculous, I think. But let me pull this up now, this whole thing. I thought it was interesting. And it was a totally different perspective that I didn't know that much about. But one of the tweets that I saw at this first thing this morning was that they said that the area around the tower was cordoned off by cops, and there was police presence there looking at something. And then it was about an hour or so later, I saw this. So I thought, this is interesting. Now, I don't know. I don't think there was a second shooter unless it was somebody that was trying to take out the shooter, the original shooter. So I don't know. But I just thought it was interesting. It says, breaking, sniper seen using a zip line off of the water tower. And then it says, if this is true, it's going to blow the entire Trump Butler rally shooting completely open. A sniper was seen on the tower and used a zip line to escape back into the trees where an SUV registered to the Department of Agriculture. This is what they posted. And then it says, we have been telling everyone about this water tower since second one. So this was the first thing. I'll click on it. Can you guys see this that I clicked on? It says, we have tracked the black SUV and have picked up our phantom water tower sniper that escaped using a zip line via the backside of the water tower onto the trees and then on foot a short jaunt to Meridian Road with 100% confidence based on cell phone data. That particular sniper was FBI, and the SUV was registered to the Department of Agriculture. So that's what this one said. And then the next one is a video. It just shows different angles with the...
All right, everybody, welcome back. July 17th, 2024, and we're looking at Butler Farms. And we're here once again so I can explain to people how the botched Secret Service plan here is being completely covered up in the media. Now they're saying that there was a sniper team in the building that this Thomas Shooter kid was on, but they claim they were in the second story window. The problem is this building does not have a second story. This building has a second story, which means the sniper team was set up in these windows here facing Trump. So once again, they're expecting us to believe that the Secret Service is looking out of these windows 1 story higher than this building and still had no clue that there was someone sitting right here aiming a gun at Trump. Guys, you need to start using your brain. This is impossible. There is no way that Secret Service was in this building with a sniper team and did not see everything on this roof. At first, they tried telling you the sniper team was in this building. Then they had to change it to a second story window, which only exists in the building behind this building, which is why I'm constantly telling people that the water tower is at play here. The water tower was used. This kid on the roof over here is a total distraction. This is what they wanted you to see. That's why he was there for over a half hour and wandering around looking like a total idiot, and no one did anything about it. There's a reason for that. We also saw a bullet bounce off the railing back here where the stage was set up. So bullets were coming from multiple angles. Now, I know this video doesn't have much in it besides what we're looking at here on Google Earth, but that's literally all we need. Again, just think about what they're telling you. A sniper team in the second story window? Absolutely impossible. That did not happen. This is a 1-story building. That is a 2-story building. This is where they say the shooter was, right about here. And they're expecting us to believe that a trained sniper team were in these windows right here. My friends, what more do you need? And my final thought here, okay, let's say, for example, that sniper team was in the building underneath where the shooter was. That means they were looking out the windows directly facing Trump while all these people were pointing out the person on the roof. So now you got to tell me that the Secret Service didn't even see that happening from the windows. So what were they even watching if they were in the building looking out the windows? This is absolutely insane, my friends. Let me know your thoughts below. I'll have more throughout the day. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, that's that one. And then here's the other one.
All right, everybody, welcome back. I have some weird information to share with you right now. And of course, this is all pure speculation. I have no solid proof of this, but this is some incredible information I've come across. And we are looking at Butler Farm Show. Obviously, many of you know this area now as the site of the attempted assassination of Donald Trump. This is absolutely crazy. And I know many of you know this area already, but just to clarify, Trump was about right here on stage. The first first sniper team was set up right about here. The second was apparently set up back here, and the shooter was right about here. Now, there's something I need you to notice, and for those of you that are into gematria and the numbers of a lot of these events, this is going to blow your mind. So many people talking about either multiple shooters or this person being a patsy and not shooting the wall. Take a look at what's just outside this building. We're looking at a water tower that has a perfect angle if somebody were up here to have a shot at Trump. Take a look at this angle right here. This would actually make a lot more sense than somebody being on the roof, even though it seems based on public video, there was in fact someone up there and possibly firing. But as far as the multiple shooter theory, which many people heard, there were bullets coming from other directions. This water tower would be the number one spot I would pick, or I think any sort of military expert would pick as a site to put a gunman if they were going to try to pull this off. Now, that's not all I got. Wait till you see how this relates to gematria. Wait until you see this. When you type in water tower, you get an ordinal number of 148 and also the 49 in reduction. Look what happens when you type in Donald J. Trump. Unbelievable. The same exact number, ordinal.
Okay, this is horseshit.
The exact same. And again, for those of you that follow
but hey, I'm showing different points of view, just like
so
I
for
said I
everyone
would.
trying to say that this may have been an
This
error
dude is
on the Secret
full of shit.
Service, and they somehow missed this area, I find that
see, I thought he was
There
pretty
is a water
plausible
tower
until he started
literally
doing that
right
part
here
of it.
that would have been one of my number one spots to have.
I mean, the
covered.
guy can't
If
even
it
fucking say
was covered, that
geometry
means
right.
All of these buildings would have been covered.
Geometry
Something very
or
weird has
geometry.
taken place here, and it is not what they're telling you. It absolutely can't be. It's impossible. But we have to say these are all theories, or else our opinions and our free speech get removed off certain platforms. It's
Yeah,
a
I'm
crazy
waiting for
world
the
we live in.
This
Our
dude
own
is so
eyes are
fucking full of
showing us
shit,
things
man.
that are not being told to us by the people that we're supposed to
This
trust.
dude is
but
so
most
fucking full
don't,
of
the
shit.
mainstream media.
Yeah.
My friends, there's a lot more to this than meets the eye, and I think over the
Speculation
next
my
couple
ass,
months, things are going to be exposed in a very, very massive way. But tell me what you think. Once you look at this water tower in a 3D
I'll
mode,
share the
there is
link
no better shot to
chat.
take than being on this
So
water tower. You are
everybody,
high enough to where
if
no
you
one's really
want,
going to
go
see
and
you if
leave
you're
your
on this back
comment
end
on him
of this
and tell him
curved
you're full of
structure,
shit,
kind of
or,
like how this guy was hiding on the back
we'll
pitch
wait
of this
until
roof
we
here.
see
But I
what
don't know.
the
This would have been my
investigation,
spot right here. All right,
brings
everybody,
out.
let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.
But I think
And why does that fucking water tower look like it's about to collapse in the middle? Dude, I mean, mock-ups and all sorts of shit. Plus, that fucking geometry, as he was calling it, or whatever, doesn't show where the big fucking screens were. So,
Yeah, I
could
know.
you have had a clear fucking shot from the water tower if you
That's
had
what
those big
I
fucking,
don't think so. That's
things?
why what I said from the first day that I heard someone say the water tower, and I said I don't think they could do that. They'd have to shoot through those giant TV screens.
I
You know what I mean?
I
So I don't think that anybody shot from there. But just like I said, remember what I said at the beginning, and you laughed at me, but I'm going to say it again. I think if there was someone on the water tower, it wasn't there to shoot Trump. They were there to take out the person that's supposed to shoot Trump, because they had a clear shot to that person. And we'll find out, though. But we'll see. That was what I was saying earlier. And you laughed at me, which is fine, because I wouldn't tell you my opinion if I did, because you're my friend and I'm telling you my opinion, just like you do me. And we'll find out.
Crazy cook.
Yeah. And hopefully, I pray that they do a good investigation and try to get to the truth, because that's all I want. I want the truth. And I can live with whatever it is.
The truth after this shit, man. I mean,
But
the
we
American
do.
people fucking deserve the truth, because a lot of people, and I had this discussion earlier this week with people on the Barroom podcast, my friends on the Barroom podcast and Society Reviews channel. Here's the thing. People do not realize just how close to a freaking civil war we were.
Mm-hmm.
Because, hear me out, folks. Just let me explain this. Our fucking country was so freaking politically charged. We were so fucking sick, and we still are fucking sick, of the mainstream media with their fucking violent rhetoric, bullshit talking, lying to the American people all the fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they were always fucking lying. Joe Scarborough fucking lied his ass off about Joe Biden
and F you if you can't handle the truth. Well, it turns out, fucking Scarborough, that you're a fucking liar, so fuck you too. But the thing is, they actually canceled his fucking show on Monday following the fucking Morning Joe thing. It's like, dude, we're not putting your fucking show on. We're going to be doing breaking news. It's because we don't want your guests to say anything stupid. No, they didn't want fucking Joe Scarborough to say anything stupid, folks. But getting back to the original point, all these fucking people were saying all this fucking heinous shit about Donald Trump. Then he fucking gets assassinated. And we also have fucking Joe Biden saying we're going to put Donald Trump in a bullseye. Do you not think that that wouldn't have been a fucking tipping point? Do you honestly think that wouldn't have been a tipping point? Now, I am not, folks, do not get me wrong. I want to clarify this. I would not have endorsed it. I would not have supported it. If people fucking went up in arms over the assassination of Donald Trump, I would have been, I'm going to take the wait and fucking see method. I'm sorry. But this shit, it should not happen. I mean, I do not believe for one moment until we find out more about the investigation, depending on what fucking shit they start or they've been hiding. Because, yes, they've been trying to hide a lot of shit. Not going to fucking dispute that. But I'm telling you right now, if they had succeeded and Donald Trump was assassinated, this country was at war. People, I thought January 6th was bad.
And I've been saying the same thing. I've been saying, whatever happens, to please stay home and protect your homes. Yeah. Because what they want, just like they wanted it so bad for January 6th that they were setting it up. They were handing bats out the window. There was pieces of wood laying on the ground all the way to the Capitol with nails and screws sticking out of it. They had moved the barricades and led everyone. They threw flashbangs behind the crowd to push them forward. They had tons of things trying to get these people riled up so that when they went in there, they were trashing stuff and tearing stuff off the walls and breaking chairs and all that shit. But what did you see on the video? People walking in between the ropes, they were being calm like a bunch of dumb teenage tourists taking selfies and shit. That isn't an insurrection, okay? And you saw the guards walking around with people, showing them around, like the guy with the horns and shit.
What happened in fucking January 6th was a goddamn guided tour and a couple of fucking drunk morons doing stupid shit.
Yeah, dumb shit, which they should. If a person went in Nancy Pelosi's office and moved her shit and picked up her stuff and took pictures or whatever, then yeah, he should get arrested for that. That's breaking the law. But someone just walking in between the ropes and shit after the doors were let in, that's nothing. They didn't do anything.
And I want the fucker that killed Ashley Babbitt to be fucking arrested.
Yeah, all that shit. It should have been. But see, that's what scares me. Do you see how they investigated that whole thing? With all the evidence they had, all the video.
Senate,
that's what I'm afraid of. It's going to happen with this. The same people that investigated that incident, if they're the same people investigating this, I don't expect the truth from it.
We have a Republican Congress.
I don't care. Most of them are
rhinos. It was a Democratic Congress.
I know, but most of them are rhinos, so I don't expect the truth.
Some of them are rhinos, but I guarantee you, there's going to be a lot of fucking.
See, look, even Tree Rock that didn't agree with me a while ago is agreeing with me right here.
Oh yeah, government
investigating itself. How you expect to get the truth from that? I don't. That's why it's going to be up to us.
That's why they need to allow civilians in.
Dan Bongino said he's getting phone call after phone call after phone call from the Secret Service people that don't want to come out, but they're calling them saying, "Man, we're screwed. This place is nuts. These people do not know what they're doing. All this different shit." So hopefully, the truth will come out and it will force them to have to fix shit. That's what if you have a house and you buy it, okay, and they say that an inspector came in, everything's great, the electricity's awesome, and the pipes are all great. and you get moved in, and within 6 months you find leak after leak after leak after leak, and then you find outlets that sparks are coming out of it and shit. Are you going to believe that they inspected the place? No. You're going to say, I got fucking ripped off. Okay. And basically, as you and I, as all of us as taxpayers, we're getting ripped off because every single thing that they've been doing for investigation wise or whatever, of all these different things that's happened since Biden's been in office, they haven't done shit. They hid the laptop. That was misinformation. They pretended it was from Russia when it wasn't. Now it's proven and used in court that it really was his laptop, and that shit that's on there about him snorting coke off of little girls' asses and all the other shit, paying for prostitutes and everything, that's all real. All of it's real. It's slowly coming out, but see how good a job the FBI, the Secret Service, and all these people did at hiding all this shit, along with the media hiding it from us. So it's up to us to be independent journalists and dig, share links, let people watch these videos over and over again, and people will figure this out. It'll be us doing it. It won't have a bunch of people running off half-cocked with guns to shoot at people that they think are guilty when they end up later on, they aren't. That's what I was telling some people about this. There was a movie that came out, and it was really, really intense. And it was this woman that she had gotten raped, gang raped and stuff. And the husband gets her out of the hospital and stuff. He's taking her home. They're driving down the road, and she says, "That's him. That's him." And he goes, "Who?" "That's the guy that raped me." So he pulls over, he gets out, and he tells her, "Stay in the car, I'll be right back." And he follows this guy a couple blocks away into an alley, and he kills the guy. He kills him. He turns around and leaves. He goes back to his car, he gets in, and he goes, "I got rid of him." She hugs him, and they're crying and they're hugging. And she's saying, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." And then they pull out and they start to drive. And then she goes, "That's him. That's him." Because she's not normal now after what happened to her. So now she sees him everywhere. So that's what I don't want to see happen to people. That's why I tell people, stay home, take care of your family, use your weapon to protect your family. Because who knows who's going to try to come in if chaos hits the streets, right? Don't go off half-cocked and leave your family unprotected. That's what I'm telling people. Protect your homes because we don't know what's coming. We don't know what's coming. Well, let our military take care of whatever they're supposed to take care of, hopefully. Our military, I mean the people in your state that are in the National Guard, those people that I don't think will come and turn on you in your own state. I don't think that will happen. I think they are part of us and they'll protect us. That's what I think. So, but I do have my guns and I'm ready to protect my home and my property and my family. So that's what I'm telling people. Do it. Take care of your family.
A friend of mine was talking to me last week, and do you know the significance of a black flag?
I think that means that that you are stepping out of the government, or you no longer believe in the government protecting you, or something like that.
That's black pill. That's black pill. I'm talking about black flag. So if you hang a black flag outside your house, the government will essentially leave your house alone because you are essentially telling the government, if you step onto my property with any intent to unlawfully do anything against our constitutional rights, I am showing you no quarter. Do you know what no quarter means?
Yeah. It means
yes, it's what's known as the no quarter flag. Black flag means you or government entity, you're not allowed here unless you are serving a lawful warrant, and in which you come to take my guns or anything like that, I will not leave a single one of you alive. Mm-hmm. Now, me, folks, I'm not saying I'm going to hang a black flag out my window or outside of my house because, well, I don't have one. However, I will always be flying the red, white, and blue. But speaking of flags and shit, did you see the Time magazine thing? Because that was one thing I also wanted to talk about, folks. You see, let me go to the bookmarks here. Let's see here. Yeah, Time magazine shared this image. This is our new cover for August 5th.
Yeah.
Except the original August 5th cover that they were going to have was the iconic photo.
Yeah. But they're not going to use
Time
it.
magazine decided to censor this for a very specific reason. They said it's propaganda. They do not want that photo shared because it's making Trump look good.
Yeah. I remember somebody talking about that.
I kind of find that real fucking disturbing. These people are fucking evil. I mean, Tim Pool said it best. These people are fucking evil. That if you are taking down an iconic photo because it's making Trump look good, we want to put up a different one. That photo that you guys are going to try to censor is going to be in fucking history books, whether you like it or not. It will be in history books 100 years from now, if we're still a fucking country by then, because it will say we had a president who took a shot or who took a bullet for his nation, and he stood in the face of death and said, fuck you, basically, or essentially. When he said fight, when he put his hand up or his fist up and said fight, 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 he was hopped up on adrenaline, folks. He wasn't posing for a fucking camera. He wasn't doing it for a fucking photo op. He wanted the people to know he was all right and that he was ready to fight. He stood in the face of death and basically spat in its face with the blood from his face or from his ear, saying, you came for me and you fucking missed. Yep. So yeah, Time magazine, fuck you. Sit on a fucking cactus and twist. You dirty fucking
I didn't
scum.
know that about Time magazine. I think that's pathetic that they don't want
changing the fucking they're changing the fucking cover photo. And they got fucking ratioed on Twitter or on X, folks. They got fucking ratioed. They're like, we prefer the original one, this one that you guys have planned. Yeah. I
got an idea for them. Why don't they make some of both covers and put them on the thing and see which ones sell and which ones don't?
I mean, that would be the smart thing.
That's what I would do. Just to see.
Like, you're going to have, or if Time magazine is smart, but they're not, they're dirty fucking scum as far as I'm considered, they will they'll put up the other one because it's not as divisive. It's not, no. You guys just don't want fucking Trump to look good. The problem is, the second he was shot, the future basically was cemented. Trump wins. But it's not complete, but the cement isn't dry, folks. Always in motion is the future, as one of my favorite movie characters always say. You have to get out and vote. Because I guarantee you the Democrats are galvanized because those fucking cackling horror witches on The View are fucking saying, or they also
I never watched that. Do you know I've never watched that show? Not one time.
Keep your brain cells. Because here's the thing, I don't watch them either.
I wanted to watch it.
Black conservative perspective covers them a lot. The fact that these bitches fucking came onto their fucking show and ripped into a fucking 15-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Over a speech she gave about her grandfather. Fuck you, Whoopi.
That's
fuck
horrible.
You, Joy. Fuck you, Sonny. And
they
fuck
went after
you,
Kai?
all those other bitches. Yeah, they went after fucking Kai Trump.
Did they
They
show?
went after Kai Trump saying, oh, she's trying to humanize her grandfather. Don't fucking fall for it. Fuck you all at The View. Fuck you all.
That's terrible. I didn't know that. But see, I don't even click on links or tweets or anything if they're talking about the video. I just go, I just swipe by it because I'm not interested in listening to what a bunch of dumb liberal women are thinking.
These aren't dumb liberal women. These are purely retarded individuals, folks. And when I say retarded, I'm not saying it derogatory, or I'm not saying it to insult. I am saying it because they fit the definition of retarded.
Mm-hmm.
They fit the actual definition of retarded. They are retarded.
Yeah, I did see one tweet, and I thought it was a meme. It looked like a meme, and they were making fun of what's her name? I don't remember what her name is.
Describe her.
One who was married to the guy from Cheers for a little bit. Whoopi Goldberg. Goldberg. Okay. She was supposedly saying that she's pooped her pants before, so she wears the pins too, or something like that. Was that real, or was that a meme?
No, she said it. She fucking said it. Yeah, fucking Whoopi Goldberg is saying, "Oh, I have poopy days too." Then maybe you shouldn't fucking admit that. Holy fucking Christ. Does that mean you fucking come in every day and wear diapers? Does that mean that you're freaking shitting yourself while you're talking on The View?
I don't know.
I just questions, Whoopi.
I didn't even know if it was real. So I just didn't share it or like it or anything. See, I try not to comment or like it or do any of that if I have no clue about it. But like this whole thing with the water tower and this, I probably wouldn't even have thought twice about it. But when I saw the first thing this morning, when I saw 4 or 5 people that I follow on X saying that there was a police presence there and there were cones out and they were driving by with a video showing there's cops out there and stuff. I wonder why. Maybe the whole this is what they were saying in the first tweet. Maybe the whole tower stuff has some legitimate because why else would the cops be there investigating or doing whatever it is they're looking for? And then it was an hour or whatever later when I saw the whole thing that guy had put together with the supposed different tweets. And if you read the names, there were different tweets on the 3 different things. 2 of them he posted, and the other one was another person that said that it was a forestry person or whatever it was that I said. I have to go back and read it again. That they saw a witness saw somebody coming down a zip line, going walking through the woods, and then getting into a van that was owned by the forestry department with the license plate on it. Now it could have been stolen. I mean, I don't know. But what I'm saying is hopefully they'll investigate it and we'll find out whether it's fact or it's bullshit. But if people don't see it, no one talks about it, then how is it going to get investigated? You see, the thing is us investigating is what pushes it to get looked at by real people. You know what I mean? That's what I think, that why I think we should talk about it. And let's say, hey, what do you think about this? Do you think it has any merit? Because the very first thing I was hearing at the very beginning when they were carrying Corey's body away, they were saying he was the shooter. And I was like, what do you mean? They go, well, they shot the guy in the stands and he tried to shoot Trump. And I go, no, he's a victim. This person, whoever he is, died because somebody was shooting into the crowd trying to get to Trump. Because apparently they weren't a very good shot or whatever. I don't know. And that was sad because it hurt my feelings a little bit because people were jumping to conclusions that they're carrying dead people out because it was the shooter, and that's why they were carrying him out. And I said, no, I think they were just trying to get him out of there, but I think it was already too late because he was just covered with blood. I mean, it was just so much blood. And I felt so bad for his family and stuff. And the other people that had to see that, I mean, this is going to be everybody pretty much there is going to have PTSD, from that. How do you go back into a crowd of people ever again the rest of your life to not think that someone might be trying to shoot you in the head? I mean, I just feel horrible for all these people. And I want people to pray for them and help them get through this because this was a tragic. I mean, I was crying my eyes out because I felt it was horrible. The whole thing was horrible. And I just feel bad for these people. These people were just going to spend their Saturday listening to Trump, rooting for him and say, I went to a Trump rally, and be all excited and probably buy some t-shirts or whatever. I've never gotten to go to one because each time I've had a chance to go, something's happened. Someone died in my family or something else happened and I wasn't able to go. So now I might never get to go to one. Maybe Trump will never get to do another one because he'll have to be in like someone made a statement that, or what are they going to do? Put him in a Pope mobile now? So that he doesn't get shot. But you think about it though, the Pope has to drive around in a golf cart that has bulletproof glass all around it. He can't even go in public, and he is supposedly, working for God, and someone wants to kill him. It's horrible. The state that we live in, the way we have to hide because we can't even be ourselves and go out in public because we're worried that someone's going to kill us. And to me, that's heartbreaking, But, well, it's been it's over 2 hours, 2 hours and 15 minutes, basically. We have 204 people right now watching us live. Thank you very much for everyone who's tuned in on Rumble and X and YouTube and on all the different channels. It looks like Orange Hat and Ruben both have 2 channels going. And I'm thankful to everyone who wanted to listen to us go on. And hopefully we said something that maybe they didn't know about yet, and they'll look into it, and maybe they might see something like that thing I opened with. You zoom in enough on a few videos, who knows what you're going to find.
Yeah.
So, you just don't know. But I'm telling you, millions of people are looking at these videos and scrutinizing them, and they're learning stuff. So, but you're right. I don't believe there was another shooter besides the one guy. And the reason why is because there was a big screen over there. There's a lot of things there that aren't there now on Google Earth because they cleaned it all up. But, I just don't believe that. So far from everything that I've seen, there was one shooter, but it was terrible the way they set it up. They did not have that place secure, was not ready, and Trump never should have got out of his vehicle and went up on stage, period. That's how I look at it. Yep. Nobody would have been shot that day if they had done their jobs, but they didn't. Now, why didn't they? I don't know. We'll find out.
Now that he's the official nominee, he should get the complete protection of a presidential nominee. And
I always thought that you got protected anyways. Once you were
for life.
You had to have.
I know, but again, it has to be jumped up because of election time now.
Oh yeah, and plus he's doing all these things in public. See, they don't have to do that much with Biden because he doesn't go plations.
You noticed his speech, his acceptance speech. Last thing before we go, I want a body language specialist to look at that speech, because I also paid attention to when he started talking about that happening to him, his voice broke a couple times.
Yeah,
you could tell he was visibly distressed talking about it.
Mm-hmm. He almost died.
Yeah.
I mean, just like I showed you, that's why I wanted you to see that with the target over him, showing where the bullet was going to hit him if he hadn't turned his head.
Yep.
He turned his head. That is the only reason he isn't dead. Because I don't know if you could get hit.
That's why he ain't dead.
I know, but the thing is, where he would have been hit, I don't think he could have lived through that.
He wouldn't have. He would have had his brains blown out.
That's what I'm saying. So he is visibly shaken up, and I could tell. I was telling people the next day after when he gave his speech and everything, I said, just seeing him each day, the very first day he went out there, he just seemed, he looked sad to me. He looked like he's realized now, even though they were after his ass the whole time with all this lawfare and the lies and the mudslinging and all that stuff. And then they put the guy, the other 2 guys, one in Florida in jail, they, with all this lawfare that they were doing and, all that. But then to actually see someone shoot you, okay, and shoot other people to get to you, the weight that must be on him. And that's why I'm so proud that he went to his service. his funeral, and I don't know. It's humbling, and I guarantee he's humbled right now. He's very humbled, and he's thankful that he's alive. And his poor wife and his family. I'm praying for all of them because I lost my niece in a car accident, and I just remember when her husband called my house trying to get a hold of my sister because he didn't have her number, and he was hysterical with what happened. It was heartbreaking just to hear his voice and the way he was talking and high pitched, squealy. It didn't even sound like him. It sounded like a totally different person. But you react a certain way when you see death. And when my brother-in-law went to her car to get things out of it, it was blood everywhere and all that, and he had to deal with that. I don't know how he did it. I don't know how some people can deal with things and other people just collapse. They just can't. It's a horrible thing. And that's why I want people to understand how close to death he came and that it's changed everything about him. This is not the same man that ran for president 2016 now. He's not. He sees things totally different. And it's going to be a different thing. And now whether he handles this and does something about it when he's president and starts saying these people got to pay, all these criminals, all these people who went across, took rights away from American citizens need to go to court. They need to go to court, the court of public opinion and the court of law. And hopefully he can do these things, because if he can do that and prove that these people can be held accountable, then maybe more people start having trust and believing in the government again. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's what we need. So what do you have planned coming up, Orange Hat, on your channel?
Sunday is the talking about the Acolyte for the final time, hopefully. Finale freaking happened, so me and Kate, Nerd with a Cigar, are going to talk about that. Monday night rants are happening at 9 p.m. instead of 8 p.m., folks, because I got a mod of chat on Mondays. Tuesday theme streams, it's going to be doing slasher horror, 1:30 p.m. on X and on YouTube. Wednesday is going to be Mad Max 2, and Thursday exclusively on X, 8:30 p.m. Last Voyage of the Demeter discussion, and then Friday is Orange Hat Uncensored. And I'm trying to reach 2,000 subs.
Okay, and what about you, Ruben? What are your plans?
Well, this week we finished the coverage of the Republican convention. We'll be doing the Democratic convention with Brian Trippett on the Front Porch Conservative and his crew. We wrapped it up. That's what's coming up. And we're doing more videos. I haven't done any video in a while. Personally, I've been doing it, but I hopefully get something out there. But follow me on X, follow me on Rumble. These are going to be coming out because this has been an incredible week, and times are changing, and this year is changing. Everyone's bingo cards are not being filled up because things are not the way they should be.
Yep, we're way off balance right now. Well, tomorrow I should be playing the other game, Bruce's other game, with the higher players where we're higher ranking. We're able to do more magic and things like that. So we should start probably around 12:31. It depends on how long it takes people to get there. And then Sunday, we will be doing the movie History of Violence. I haven't seen it before, so I'll get to watch it in Discord, and I will send a link out to anyone who wants to see it and watch it with us. You just send me a DM and say, I want to watch History of Violence with you guys, and I'll send you a link to Bruce's Discord, and we'll go in there and watch it. And then after we're done, we'll discuss it a little bit before we decide to do the review of it. So that's what I've planned. And then Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, I'm going to do another music streaming thing on X only, or maybe X and Rumble, but it won't be on YouTube at all. It'd just be on mostly probably X exclusive again. but I'm trying to learn how to present things better, to learn how to bring up the right one and all that stuff. I'm practicing, and to me, it's like, why not? Why not do something fun? And I'm talking to a couple of girls, and I've got one girl that says she'd be willing to dress up and do like the Battle of the Bands, like the 80s bands, and dress up like our favorite people from a band or whatever, and play different songs, stuff like that. I think it'd be fun because she said she's into doing costumes and stuff too. So I think it'd be fun to do something like that. Make it more fun, by dressing up and, head banging or whatever, depending on whatever music we pick. But that'll be fun. So hopefully we'll see how that goes. And then it'll be Thursday. It'll be another Team Shit Show 2.0 because my last one from last week got taken down. And then the one I did last night, I did it with Wes, and it was still up. So we'll see. But it took them almost a week to take it down last time because of they said it was the cyberbullying again. So say whatever that is, and they wouldn't tell me what it was. They wouldn't let me edit it out or explain to me what it was. But you got to remember, I had another person on my show, and she aired the same exact show live with me, and hers is up. So whatever I did is still on the other video. So I'm sharing her link with people, saying,
Janet,
"Hey,
someone's out to get you, Janet. Someone's
I don't know. They just don't like me.
Someone's reporting you to the FBI."
I know they're gonna turn me in, but it was basically about the embryos that they aborted embryos that they used to make different vaccines. That's basically what we talked about, and then we talked about personal things that happen, for children. So yeah, basically that's what it was, and they didn't like it. So I was cyberbullying somebody. I guess the people that made the vaccines. I guess that's who they were mad at me for. So I took the class and kissed ass because I like to keep my name, Janet from Another Planet. But if I lose it, I won't have it. I'm not going to stay. I'm not going to make another one. If I lose this one, I will not start a whole new channel. So I'll just be on Rumble and X and on TikTok and on Instagram. I'll just stay on those things. Don't worry about it. But I'm not monetized yet, so I won't be losing anything basically. But I enjoy doing it. I enjoy trying to do different things, and if they don't want me on their platform, then I guess they don't want me. And if we were smart, we had somewhere else to go, we wouldn't come back. Because if you get rid of all of us, who's going to put content on there?
Right.
If you think about it, and if we all find a better place to go that treats us more fair, I'm starting to spend more and more time on X than I am on YouTube. So if X keeps growing and I keep growing on X, I won't need to use YouTube anymore, which is sad, because I've met so many nice people on YouTube. A lot of my friends are on here. So